Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Crew. I hope you guys are doing great. And today we're back with episode 40 of Genshin Impact. This is going to be the story quest for Yelan, and I'm really excited for it. But it's kind of crazy actually that I've reached 40 episodes of Genshin Impact. I did not expect that I can persevere this long. Although I didn't have many views even up to this point, but it's been really fun actually doing this playthrough and all, and I really hope you guys can continue to give support to this channel. I think let's just go ahead and get right into it. I was actually supposed to do this one yesterday, but I didn't realize that there's a prerequisite for it. So I did finish all of the quests that is available. The only one left is Yelan as well as Gacha. Both in this account as well as the main account, because I do have the Yaimiko quest that I haven't done in my main account, and I finally did it. So I think let's just go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and claim back. Okay, by the way, this is my Hazel theme that I'm using right now. I do have a different theme for Yelan actually. If you guys watch the channel update video, I have this other theme here which I call the machine gun theme. This is pretty much a theme that I use when I want to go for world boss or the weekly boss. But yeah, Hazel has been really fun, so that is why I'm using his party actually.
Traveler, Paimon, it's been a long time.
Oh!
Who is this one? Oops.
Long time no see! Fancy meeting you here. How's work these days?
Thanks to the help of people like you and colleagues like Ganyu, better all the time.
Is she one of the assistants?
But
Oh,
I've been feeling
it's already written here, secretary.
I
Why?
just feel constantly agitated.
And what caused you to be agitated?
It's a long story. But my father, he's thinking of stepping down from the Tianshu position due to health issues.
Oh, okay. What seems to be the issue then?
What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy these days.
I mean, you can't blame him though if you want to retire. Probably he's too tired doing all the work throughout his days, right?
He's always said, old age comes for us all in the end. Still, I just can't help but feel a little emotional watching it happen to him.
Understandable.
Anyway, my father's currently on the second floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come pay him a visit with me?
Alright, let's go.
He seems very fond of you too. I'm sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Hopefully.
Sure, let's go.
Sup, Uncle Tian?
Uncle Tian, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Hoishin, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea? I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
Yeah, we're more concerned about your health actually.
Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry, I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
Okay.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Yeah, I wonder actually.
Well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing.
Mm-hmm.
Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice. So a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces. So we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment.
So I'm gonna guess that he wants to appoint Yelan then?
For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
Okay.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
I guess so.
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself.
Okay.
Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer.
Ah.
I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Yep. So she's not the candidate, she's just going to assess the candidate.
Who is it?
I wonder if the dialogue is going to be different if we didn't do the Akon quest first. Or was the story quest here is being gatekept by the Akon quest?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
Oh. Needs to get used to all these voices again because I've been using Japanese.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
Makes sense.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
Yep.
All right then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Yeah, why not assign her instead?
Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang.
So that's why.
After how long you've been working together.
I mean, I don't know, we can try to persuade her.
So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
So his work is covert job. Interesting. Doesn't seems to have the physique of it though. I guess you can judge books by its cover, right?
All set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house. You're all set?
Let's go.
Uncle Tien seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
That's what growing old means, Paimon.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tien is past his prime.
Mm-hmm.
He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei,
Ningbo Chi.
Qianwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Yeah.
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion.
Okay.
All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
There's only a week left before Sumire come out.
Getting sore. What is wrong with this?
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of
This is a
stuff to do.
huge occasion, and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
He looks like the study kind.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
This might actually be Mingbo.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it.
I'm guessing this is the entrepreneur.
Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable.
Hmm? Oh, so this is Qianwei. And this is Mingbo. Okay. That was unexpected. So this one is Zhiwei.
Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine.
Yeah, smart guy.
They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
Seems
Looks like all
cocky.
3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process.
Okay.
I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview.
Mm.
In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person.
Okay. Simple enough.
Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Ah, I see. Well, one of them is pretty long.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto.
To be fair, just because it is thick doesn't mean it's good. It's the quality that matters.
Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues.
Oh, okay.
There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing.
Okay.
I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Alright, let's read them.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets.
Yeah, what do you think?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews.
Okay.
We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Qianwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Is he the cocky one?
Oh, so you two are
Yeah.
the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing 2 entirely unfamiliar faces.
Well, you're out, dude.
I trust you've read through my manifesto. I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Did you learn that from Cloud Retainer?
Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Mm-hmm.
With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
I don't like him.
Oh, is it my turn?
Gimbo was somehow okay, but he seems to be not very confident. I say Zui seems to be the best candidate.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days. My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon?
Yeah.
He's not very good at public speaking.
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I want to see what's the question though.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous.
Don't be. He seems to be okay though.
What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
True. But he seems to have a lot of good ideas, so I don't know, maybe give him a chance?
Fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts.
Ah, expert opinion. I like him. So he don't simply make his manifesto based on him alone, but he somehow refer to experts on certain matters.
Of course, two different problems
Very
can be
good.
interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach two very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
So he's the only one that we get to see
He seems like
the
a
question.
great guy. Everything he
I agree.
said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
I agree.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented.
Very nerdy.
But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yelan.
Last but not least, Jur-E. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people.
Right?
But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Jur-E take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Okay, I think we found our candidate then.
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
Are you okay, Uncle?
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
His student, I guess?
I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now.
Oh, his son?
Those three candidates have all
I see.
It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Jur-E was with me for the longest duration.
I see.
So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Jur-E,
Pure happenstance? Meaning?
We first met while fishing.
Ah,
As we got
okay.
to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Jur-E came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
Yeah, sounds like he's a family to you.
And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies.
That's how the world.
No one can escape.
That's how the world works.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Nah, not a good idea.
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Jur-E purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman.
Oh, are we gonna get it?
When we've been fishing recently, Jur-E always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
You still have many years to go, Uncle.
Can Paimon come next
Cheer
time
up.
too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
Mm-hmm. I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment.
You sure?
Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities.
All right.
Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Okay, why do I get a feeling that she's not satisfied enough
Look after yourself.
with she?
So it's gonna be Juri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
Maybe.
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear.
True, I agree.
The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels.
So, are we gonna spy on those three to see their true faces?
Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Oh,
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
nowhere.
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me.
Okay.
As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
Well, sounds like you have a lot of underling.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
Mingo might actually got a good chance here.
So what about Juri?
We are going to assess ourselves.
Well, obviously, as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's
Right?
go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
I don't know.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Okay.
Let's go and ask him.
Oh.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Yeah.
Strange? What was strange about it? Juri seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gao spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
Yeah, but not until 2 or 3 months ago. But before that, he doesn't seem to have any reputation.
But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
Yep.
It almost seems too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Sudden? Too good to be true? What do you mean?
So he returns cruelty with kindness and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Jur-E was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign.
Oh, someone's helping him.
And that changes everything. It could mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu at Xixing.
Oh, and he is a good candidate.
That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do?
But who though?
Even if we asked Jur-E about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
Yeah, obviously.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever
Okay.
is secretly helping Jur-E must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Jur-E's manifesto on who we're dealing with.
Okay.
Come on, let's get back to Yenshang Tea House.
Guess we have some homework to do then.
Jur-E's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Alright. Speed reading.
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Jur-E, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
Okay, so what's the case with Shui then?
So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries.
Yep.
The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Chengshu Pool redevelopment plan.
Yeah, what's that?
Chengshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Chengshu Pool. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing,
So, did they
Oops.
find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive.
Which the person behind him might have, whoever it is.
Technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Jur-E's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plans.
Oh, okay.
Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions.
I haven't considered the Fatui. Could the Fatui actually be behind this?
Did you find anything?
Excavation, project, treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto?
Including the Black Cliff Forge.
Oh yeah! Juri said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Juri wants the Blackcliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Qingshu Pool.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Juri's secret supporter?
Maybe.
Not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful factions at present. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead. We may well find something new.
Alright, let's go then.
But both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Juri? Is there another side to him too?
Probably.
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence has been destroyed. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before we arrived.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
I don't know.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the paper's been burned. There's only ash left now.
Well, that's too bad then.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Blackcliff Forge? They've got to go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned now. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else to throw our investigation.
Darn! Guess this is where our trail runs cold.
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Juri.
Yep.
I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in.
Oh, what's that?
Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Oh.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
Chant fragrance.
There's a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as the eye can see.
Oh, so it is Fatui then.
Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind.
Fatui.
Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next move.
Alright.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Is this the third guy?
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Xianghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Juri's regular contacts. Since Juri likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around.
Okay.
I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup.
Nice.
So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Juri before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, someone managed to drag me out.
So the fisherman doesn't know who he is. Only people in town. Which means they did purposely spread out the rumors about Juri, and only people in town know that, and people who are normally outside of town don't know that.
When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tien said that Juri once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear anything about that at all?
That's news to me.
So he lied to the uncle as well, I guess.
That's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some solid evidence. Well,
You know what? What if Yelan is actually the one who is being assessed here by the uncle? That could be one of the possibility as well.
not a bad idea. Upe, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Juri, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Really now?
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially when he thinks he's about to win. Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at miHoYo Pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll do next. Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the show.
Oh. He's gonna go ahead and inform his benefactor, I guess.
Lady Yelan, Juri has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Feiyun Slope?
Follow him, quickly.
For what purpose?
He really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tien thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when you find him.
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's subordinates?
Because they know he was being followed.
I guess Juri didn't let his guard down. Still as vigilant as ever.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense when he's being watched.
But how?
By having someone looking out for him, I guess.
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tien himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tien, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So, where did you lose him?
Shinue Kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get close enough to check without blowing our cover. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been to arrest him there and then. But without any evidence, that would have been meaningless. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Shinue Kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. The key is figuring out what he's trying to achieve. Let's go to Shinue Kiosk.
Maybe he went to the Northland Bank? It's up there, right? Yeah.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little bit strange?
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was here?
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
Ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to pick it up.
Liquor and wineware. I see. Let's go.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
Antiques? Where is that exactly? Oops.
Hey, Miss Lin Long. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it
Imitation.
has the feel of a luxury item.
Luxury.
Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Zhi has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Zhi's wineware set include wine glasses, or...?
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Zhi bought 2.
Why 2?
Okay. Thanks, Lin Long. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right, see you next time. If we can't figure out where Zhi went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinue Kiosk anyway? To celebrate?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Zhi isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father.
Right?
If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses. No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Zhi's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status, hence the need for expensive-looking wineware. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Northland Bank?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Zhi may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Zhi bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Zhi is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves.
Oh.
Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Zhi might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Zhi may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yansheng Tea House.
Alright.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of Qingshu Pool.
Hmm.
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Jerry mentioned in his manifesto.
Yeah.
Looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice, I'll give them that. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we just might hit the jackpot this time.
Oh, over here. That's pretty far from the city. Might be a good idea. Oops.
Full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Oh, so we need to go from the entrance. Okay. Hey, what was that? I'm guessing it's down here.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground.
Oh, so we're going under. This is probably going to be a dungeon then.
Workers left an emergency
Yep.
access route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey. Still, be ready to fight at any moment. Any resistance needs to be taken out quickly and quietly. We don't want to attract too much attention.
Don't
Right.
worry, we're all professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little helpers at?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them, but they'll join us later.
Okay, I'm guessing we are reaching the end then. Normally, dungeon mean that we are approaching the final of the story quest.
Stabilize!
Ah shit, they're giving me a trial Yelan, dang.
Gotcha! Quietly now. There is no escape! As I expected, but this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Is the main kinda looks like the one for Utao story quest. I'm guessing because it is in a similar region, so makes sense. I'm guessing that is the Fatui guy. Yep.
Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry.
I'm guessing we have to find a way to get inside. Oh, looks like a puzzle. Oh, we're supposed to fill them up. And now I guess we have to realign all of this one. Yeah,
Waters flowed into the groove.
I guess it's a simple puzzle.
Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
Alright, push. I think it's a simple puzzle. Yeah, I can already see it. Can push this all the way to the right. Okay, just need to rotate all of them. Here, push here. Okay, there you go. It's very simple. There you go. Hide.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Why do I feel like he's gonna kill Ji?
Sorry, that went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
Why do I feel like, okay, first, he's trying to poison Ji, and probably the Fatu have been trying to poison Uncle Tian as well. Maybe that's why he's feeling tired.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup.
Oh shit. So that's why Uncle Tian was not feeling so good.
Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison and came up with the idea of delivering it through fish soup.
Oh.
Was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result. How did you think of that?
So that's the secret recipe.
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tien Shu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Nope, you're gonna get fired, dude.
Did you hear that? It was poison. That's why Uncle Tien hasn't been feeling well recently.
Yeah.
Zhuyi's doing. What a nasty guy. Seize him.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture it for posterity.
I guess that is for people who was not participating in the camera event.
Excellent liquor. We've seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Zhuyi. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how hard I work. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Qian Wei had wealth, Mingboa had reputation, but you had nothing. You were just another nobody. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui, give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
That's pretty much Fatui way of doing things. They always take advantage of the less fortunate people.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera?
Plenty.
Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
Why do I feel like Zhuyi is going to poison him, like with a strong poison, in order to kill him?
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great. Huh? What the?
Ooh.
Jur-E, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
Dang, he's bad.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my words.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Juri, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second in command, Theophan?
Already bribe him?
How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor! Juri, you...
Shh, 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 shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want.
Dang, he's really creepy.
Is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
Stand down. You're under arrest. Surprise?
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Nope, not gonna trust you.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future.
Oh, trying to bribe us, huh?
I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Juri, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
Yep, exactly.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough. That's enough.
Nah. not enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Oh?
Huh?
Oh. Maybe
Sorry.
we're trying to take the advantage.
Let's meet at Yenshang Tea House tomorrow morning.
I'm gonna guess Yelan is trying to suggest that he keep his position, but he's going to work for her and try to act like a double agent against the Fatui.
I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals.
Alright, be careful then.
Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, this'll be a straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
There is now no poison left in his system.
Oh, Baiju.
Recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
All right.
Don't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years.
Oh, that long, huh?
It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful.
So they did tell Uncle Tian then.
Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
I wonder when Baiju is gonna be available though.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that he is going to be playable. Yeah, considering the fact that he has a dendro vision as well.
You're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Yes, the exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting clearer again.
You sure?
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position. But Qianwei and Mingbo both have potential.
So both of them?
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Maybe he knows it already, but he was expecting Jui to change, maybe.
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer if he hadn't had his doubts about Zhi. Normally, the Yue High Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend.
But Fatui take advantage of him.
In the end, even he changed. But when did it start? I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family background and fame mean everything to many people, but I don't attach great importance to them. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things. What I really admired about Zhi was his intelligence and resilience.
Yeah, he is kind of smart though.
I have to admit,
It's a pity.
he's a smart guy and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Zhi was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Xingyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison, and he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
Oh, he really thought of all the steps already in advance.
That's still really dangerous.
Yes, had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
What you think, Uncle?
Zhi now.
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says,
Oh.
everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when you arrested him?
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, did you?
Maybe not now.
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't understand.
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu selection process.
Right?
With Yusupov in our hands and a statement from Zhi, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options.
So in a way, I was right. She was thinking of planting a double spy.
Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
They already take action.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond so quickly.
Yep.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved.
Regrator? Who's that? Which one in the trailer was it? Regrator.
Dewey's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity that Theophan got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself?
Maybe she wasn't interested. She's just interested in the case only.
I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking.
Yeah.
I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any real danger. All right, I'm done here. Time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days and I still have to prepare.
Where are you off to this time?
Some investigation?
As you might have guessed. It's for me to know and you to find out.
Of course.
Keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons.
Well, we kind of know
If
that.
you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian. After the recent turn of events, I'd say he owes you one, wouldn't you?
Oh, why is the camera panning to the outside there? Seems like there's a spy.
What would you like to know?
Oh, he is the one who's giving the information.
Something I've said to Jury, Qinwei, and Mingguo before is that while cunning and scheming are quite crucial, even more important than this is staying true to yourself.
True, I agree.
Jury and Ambassador Yusupov each saw each other as a means to an end. They thought that if they could just outsmart their opponent, they would emerge the final victor. And yet, in the eyes of Yelan and Regrator, they are but pawns in a much bigger game. Scheming is an endless endeavor. If you can't cope with it, you're better off staying out of it. It gives you a much clearer view in any case. Everyone has self-interest, but you cannot let it be your master. So, don't fight over fleeting gains and losses. Rather, focus on the direction your heart is leading you, and keep moving forward.
Sure.
What would you like to know?
About Yelan?
I first met Yelan when she was very young. Even back then, she was extremely tough, and she kept her cards close to her chest. An old friend of mine once privately commented to me that Yelan is always smiling, but never with her eyes. She is a very dangerous person.
She is.
Something of an exaggeration in my view. At least, I know she would never hurt the people she trusts.
I mean, she is a danger to her enemy, I guess.
What would you like to know?
But Regrator,
Greater is the 9th of
number
the
9.
Avengers, though likely the first among them where wealth is concerned.
The first among them where wealth is concerned. Is he talking about the banker? The one that talked to the mayor?
However, his wealth is not a mere question of how much more he has to his name. He has a very unique understanding of wealth, and what he's planning may very well shake the world to its core.
I'm guessing it is, because that's the only logical reason that I can think of.
I don't have a lot of information about him, If you need to know more in the future, you can ask Ningguang.
Oh, can we go ahead and ask her then?
What would you like to know?
Next Tianshu.
As Yelan says, now that I'm on the mend, I should have another few years worth of work in me. During this time, I plan to gradually hand over my duties while mentoring some new candidates.
What about the current candidate?
That reminds me. Chen Wei and Ming Bo are still waiting downstairs. I must go and have a chat with them shortly.
Okay. Can we still talk to him?
What would you like to know?
Yeah, I have no more question.
You can always find me.
Okay, let's see first. Are they really downstairs? Oh, they are. Let's try and talk to them.
So Jerry is already in prison, I guess?
You think? He poisoned Uncle Tien. I still can't believe he'd do that.
Yeah.
Why the long face?
Nothing. I think it's a great shame.
It is.
I always thought he's very smart. If he became Tianshu, he'd be able to accomplish many things I could never hope to.
Don't feel bad. I'll admit he was a strong contender, but give me 3 years and I'll overtake him. When I become Tianshu, I'll make you my deputy. Like the sound of that?
He probably still like it.
Start by working on your temperamental issues. If you can't keep your cool, your work will suffer. Right now, you still have a long way to go before you'll be eligible to take the Tianshu position.
Shots fired.
I'll get there. One step at a time. And then, before you know it, there'll come a day when you won't be able to find a single flaw in me or my work.
Well, good luck then.
First, though, let's go and talk to Uncle Tien.
Alright guys, that is going to be it for this episode. That was a little bit heartbreaking actually. This story about Shui and Uncle Tien was really rooting for him, but yeah, turns out he is actually a really bad guy. It's a pity though, because he is like a victim of a situation, because he is always being bullied, so I kind of understand why he want to take the advantage when he can have it. It's a pity that he have to drop down so low, but yeah, that was very interesting as well. So I guess the last one that we going to do is Kazuha, and that is I'm going to do that in my main account. Obviously I do have a Kazuha here. If you remember, I did roll for him in my
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. So
those who share the memory.
I do have Kazuha, but I haven't really leveled him up yet, and I don't really have his artifact ready. I haven't even craft his weapon yet actually, to be honest. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until I got to use Kazuha, but for now I'm just gonna stick with this party, which is actually a lot of fun. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys do, please leave a like as well as subscribe to the channel. It'll be really helpful to us, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.